You make your body from the inside strong. And that is where you start to awaken those inner senses at your willpower. It's very, keep it simple. It is a difficult question because it's a philosophical question of thousands of years and all yoga and all those scriptures. And now we found the simple answer.
Have you ever wondered what it takes to defy the limits of the human body and mind? Imagine plunging headfirst into the icy embrace of cold waters, not as a daredevil stunt, but as a path to unlocking hidden potential. In the depths of such experiences, Wim Hof, known as the Iceman, has discovered a method that transcends the ordinary. In this exploration of his groundbreaking Wim Hof Method, we embark on a remarkable journey into the world of resilience, transformation, and self-discovery. From his compassionate childhood to global fame, his philosophy challenges us to embrace discomfort as a catalyst for growth. With controlled breathing and cold exposure, he not only unlocks physical health secrets, but also the mind's limitless power. In this inspiring conversation, Hof becomes our poetic guide, encouraging us to confront fears, uncover illumination in the shadows, and harness the transformative power of love. It's now time to tune into this one very inspirational human being. Enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what side of the world you are at today. In this very moment, we have an amazing guest. A very special guest, and I'm super excited to the point it's 2 a.m. in the morning for me. So I am going to introduce the wonderful Wim Hof. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for having me. Lovely.
It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. The way that we love to start the shows, we always love to ask our guests, what exactly inspired you to do what you do today?
I always say you give the best, then the best is able to come. If you give everything you got past your thinking, then life becomes surprisingly beautiful. Because life is surprisingly beautiful, but you have to let it. And there we come to the topic of the mind. The power of the mind is where the real control is, where we learn to let go, to surrender. So that's what I do today. That's what I do every day. I don't know what is going to happen, but I give it all. And I know that it is not knowing, but the experience then is amazing. And today, I've been working on my new book together with my partner. She's very good in English and in deepening through asking me, because I go like the wind. And she stops me and says, what is the identity of the wind? Do you know where the wind came from? You know, questions like that. We are like yin and yang, but sometimes bing bang. Like in our minds, when it comes together, it's amazing. And today it was amazing. I found out that where I come from, living the best part of my life was living in a squat. In a squat is a place where you don't pay rent, and it's just, you know, it's an object for speculation. And we just entered. And we took over, and we paid gas and electricity, and that was it. And that with like-minded people, hundreds. It was a space of free thinking. Free thinking is, I was outside of society, in society, not being part of society. And that gave me this access to the unconditional love for life, the unconditional power to emerge from where you are into everything and back, and to realize your soul, your purpose, who you are and what you are on a daily basis in a flow which was simply there naturally. And those were my 8 best beautiful years. And it shaped up my foundation for the rest of my life. Because if you are able to find the space to free think, you will find that you shape up the way you are, emanating from your soul. So the soul and its purpose is realizing certain life experiences without inhibition, without expressing itself, no fears, and find more and more. And those were my first 8 years. And then I had to go from the squatting place after 8 years, and I got to go into society, into a rental, children, work, and all that. It was horrible. It was horrible. So the beautiful times, that was like the yin energy flowing, and now I got into the yang. But both of them shaped up to a new identity. But meanwhile, I had to stick to my daily discipline, and that is giving the best. Then the best is able to come. Even when the times are bad, you are able, with the right discipline, to not only get through it, but to use what is the bad energy, so like personally experienced, and change it like an alchemist in the gold we are searching for. And that those 8 years were counteracted by those 8 years of the black energy with the white energy, so and together it made me emerge. What it is doesn't matter. I'm a big famous person, 100 million people following, and more. I want to change the world. I do the neuroscience. I'm a dropout of school. I work with professors and doctors all the time. I show them the natural ways. This is all the result of you keep on practicing your discipline, even if the times are bad. And then you will be able, at the end of that era, or what is coming through you, to change it into the gold. Then it is able to be processed, and the life's purpose is to express the soul through the life's lessons, and you become stronger. What doesn't break you or what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that is the rough idea, primordial idea. What I've been talking today was a real insight about that. And that was kind of magical today. In the end, if you give the best, then the best will come about. Have your discipline on daily basis, even when the times are bad, and you will find out that everything has purpose.
I love the way that you just described that. And I have a feeling that you obviously, I love the fact that you use the yin and the yang. So you've gone from extremities to now you find a balance between, and you had to experience both, right? To be where you are today.
Exactly.
I guess my intrigued mind is wanting to know what was the passion, what was the driver for exposure of the cold? Is it something you've always been intrigued with? Is it something that came later on?
As a young kid, I had 2 encounters. Once, at 7 years old, where I slept outside in the snow. if they would not have been waking me up, I would have slept on and died. That was one encounter. When I was 11, another one. I just succumbed in the cold of the winter here. And I sat down and I was unconscious. And I woke up in the hospital. Those were this is the way I was touched by a touch of frost. The cold touched me, my soul, my being. It is my life's lesson. And I went from 12 years on, I went into this with my friends, saying to them, I don't know what this world is all about. They think disease, hunger, wars, abuse, pollution, exploitation, etc. is normal. I think it is sick. I got to do so. I'm going to make a change there. How? I don't know. I just do it. So from there, I started to do esoteric disciplines, into yoga, into when yoga was not known at all. I became a vegetarian where nobody knew what vegetarianism was all about. And I followed these philosophies, traditions, and disciplines. And from there, I did not find the real depth until I felt one day, 5 years later, as a 17-year-old boy, a teenager, I felt to go into icy water. An urge from the God, or God. It doesn't matter the way you look at it. It brought me into the depth. Because at the moment when I entered into the water, I felt this is it, without words. There was a deepened feeling, an absolute deepened feeling, a coming alive, an awakening into my primordial being of my total of physiology, of body and mind. And I knew it. A searcher becomes a finder. I became a finder at that moment. And then you know, when you're invested in trying to find, to searching through traditions, philosophies, languages, esoteric disciplines, yoga, I don't know what, anything I could get my hands upon, I took it on. That makes you a finder. That at the moment when you really have found, touched upon a thing, you have invested so much in your mind, body, you know this is the depth. This is who I am, what I am. It's touching me. It's opening me up. This is where I feel good, namely, the depth of myself coming to life. And from here, I can go and do anything. It brought me peace. It brought me power. I began to do breathing exercises within the water to stay longer. I found out how to do that. And then I separated the both, the cold water practice and the breathing exercises. And then I came and I saw all the chakras and all the lights and all what was written, which was so distant when I read about it and so difficult to attain. Now, through what I found through the cold and the impact it had on my physiology, the depth, the deeper breathing, when you go into the cold, it's like an awakening, coming to life. And I remember that, Catherine. First time I did a world record under the ice swimming, I lost it under the ice. And I swam on, I lost the hole, 50-meter hole. I went under the ice, I kept on swimming because there was no other remedy than keeping on swimming. And I swam so much, such a long time under the ice that I lost my energy. And I almost slept under the ice. Didn't feel agony of drowning. I was in control. Yet my energy was flowing out of my body over the 100 meters under the ice, lost. And then a diver brought me back to the hole, and he did it. I was like energyless. I had no energy anymore, but I was conscious. He was just taking me. No agony of drowning or anything of that. I came out of the water, and the first thing I did automatically was coming to life. And in that moment, I had lost. I saw the fear of death, because death does not exist the way we think it is. It is different. We are here with a purpose. We came into this body, and we will leave the body until it's done. And if we didn't do it, then we need to come back in the body. That is reincarnation. After this body of mine, I don't need to come back. I know it. It's all right. But my mission is that breathing, come to life into the depth of who you are and what you are. It's not difficult. It takes your mind to follow the breath and to own your own mind and your body, your soul, and live up to its purpose. Feel it, be it, see it, experience it every day. You give the best, then the best is able to come about. You give the space, and then the space is able to be entered by the holiness of the Spirit itself. So that is what I did, where I came from in this search. The finder, as a result of searching, was there. And from there, I began to do it. And because I was strange in this society, I loved to be there in the squat, because that was my free thinking space. And then 8 years of society, which almost really depressed and suppressed me. But because I had a great discipline, I was really strong. I mean, I did 26 world records afterwards, like nothing. Probably I've done hundreds, because the cold had trained me past my thinking. I was in connection with my depth, and the depth is not being lived in this society. People try to be better than somebody else. Well, you should be the best of yourself. And that is inside, and we are entitled to and live in that, to experience that. And as long as that is not the case, I keep on fighting. And before I go into eternity, as we are in eternity, but then leave my body, it will be all done. So yes, I lost the fear of death, and I began to see consciously what this life is all about. And it's more than what we see. It's more than what we get to hear. The world is quite in confusion right now. And people like us, they just ask questions. They have common sense conversations. And very soon we can slice through what is the existent paradigm and get to our deeper sense between two people. Two people should be able to reach for the stars, to understand the light in and out, and to see what is the purpose, the holy purpose. Because we are born half, or not born half, we are holy beings. And our purpose is a real one, and it should be felt. And there, once we live the purpose, we become happy, strong, and healthy, driven. We become driven, and it's an unknowing, driving force coming through. And it wants just to live like a child, stronger than thoughts. And that is the love of life, unconditional being. And that unconditional being of life is love. And when that comes through, health, happiness, and strength is fully there. And then we don't need this system that is there to make some people rich and a whole lot of people poor, like suppressing. It's kind of a psychic energies maintaining itself, called society, civilization, and all that. And the mischief and the malignant forces therein are so that we have to reincarnate because we could not live up to our purpose. And that's why I went through science. I showed science. I showed how to, hey, here, receive an injection with the bacteria and we will not become sick. That because the limitless power of our mind is really limitless, is able to overcome obstacles of life, no doubt, 100%. That gives you deep confidence. That gives you that uninhibited drive coming through, and you just keep on going. So, what is your purpose? This is what I ask the people. What is your purpose? Live up to that. Be happy, strong, and healthy every day. The rest is bullshit. So let's not take up the bullshit. Be happy, strong, healthy. If that is not there, then there is a conflict with the soul. And we should be able to cleanse that. For that, going into the cold and the breathing is an amazing, good, effective discipline that withholds the karmic energies outside to latch on and to oppress your mind and body. It's your mind. Learn to own your own mind. And if you keep that direction of happiness, strength, and health within you like a mantra, then you will become that. Then the patterns inside the neurological pathways in the brain will act accordingly at your will. And this is what I've been showing lately in Sydney with brain scans with Professor Teo, Charlie Teo. I showed him that I was able to activate, compared to 10,000 others who could not, a complete control over the subcortical higher functioning of the brain. Yes, and that is who we are. We should be able to have the steer wheel of our brain activity, our mind, fully in control, and to drive that car, that steer wheel, to our destinies, and have a great ride, have a great journey. It's like a camper van, and it's a perfect holiday, a holy day it is. And therein, we are perfectly equipped to have all that going on. But then you look at society, and then I say, oh yeah, they're not experiencing that. There is mesmerization. People are hypnotized. They are out of their own orbit. So I will prove, this is what I do on and on, how to get rid of stress, how to have control over the subcortical higher functioning of the brain. And now I work with the best neurologists in the world. But it all began with faith. There is more than meets the eye. And I think that the world as it is sick. And I'm going to do something about it. I went to nature. I found my being, my physical and mental capacities mirrored in very extreme nature. And I found it working perfectly. There is no danger there. Danger there is if you go away from your inner nature. And that is what is happening in this society. We survive in this society, but we do not fully live. And that is like being parasited. A parasite wants to stay on a being that doesn't die, but is also not fully living because it is parasited. This is the way we are in our society with the matrix, whatever they call it. I say just be happy, strong, and healthy. Rest is bullshit. When you experience bullshit, get out or get in. Get into yourself and take over the steering wheel and get back to your soul and your purpose, and you will have unlimited power, energy, happiness, strength, and health. So I'm showing this through science, neuroscience. And now, very soon, I got appointments with neuroscientists here in Germany, and they got the most modern, newly up-to-date brain scans of the world coming in end of October this month. And then we do a six-legged research on the brain, and then being measured through these absolute, state-of-the-art, new, up-to-date measurement devices, brain scans, the newest ones, then there is no speculation. We are able to take over the reign over our brain activity. You see what that means? That means that we are able to take over control over our 100% of our brain. Not 50, 100, not 16 according to science. No, and the rest is involuntarily. It is 100. And I showed that already, but now much more meticulous instruments will show how to do it, and that everybody actually is innately capacitated to connect neurologically with pathways through the willpower, through your will. It's your brain. It's your brain, man, that you are able to get out of this matrix, this narrowed consciousness, into full expanding consciousness, like a tree reaching out to the stars, as far as possible, and every year more. And that feeling, uninhibited, that is where I came from. But then they told me I was crazy. You live in utopia. You are a hippie. You are this and that. And then when I went into the cult, that man is an idiot. That is crazy what he is doing. It's dangerous and this and that. Always names. And now through this science, I'm showing that they are crazy, that they are not in the power of their own mind, that they are not able to guarantee happiness, strength, and health. And what is that then? And then people say, remain, I can't do anything about it. This is the way it is. And this is the paradigm, and I have to go from 9 to 5 and all that. And I say, I understand, but I bring the love. I bring the power, because what you are, your soul, is absolute grace, and you should be able to feel it and to be it and to pass it on to your children. That is the greatest gift you can give to your children, not to make them another brick in the wall, Pink Floyd. No, to pass on the love. The real love is the one that makes you able to go for the stars. That uninhibited flow within, and your instrumental usage of your own brain should be completely serving you as you are. That is love. I give it to you. This is the way I will pass on those brain waves to you, that confidence to you, that being uninhibited, that I go for it all, that I found it, that it is here, and that we share it. That's where we meet, Catherine.
Wow, I can feel you oozing with passion, with love, with enthusiasm. I just love your energy. And I love the fact that there's a couple of things that you brought up about the knowing that inner drive. What would you tell someone? Because, I feel that we've been conditioned to be externalize in the way that we approach everything, right? So we you know, whether it's external validation or whether it's everything, it's almost we've been conditioned. How do we go within to drive that, like you're saying, connecting with your soul, connecting with that inner knowing, and listen to that, because that's your calling, that's the truth, rather than listening to, like you talked about, the matrix. That's not the truth. That's actually an illusion. But how do we go within? How do we train our minds to do that, knowing that a lot of people externally are focused?
Yes. Here comes the non-verbal power. When you are in love with somebody, you don't think. So you have to learn to not think and to go deeper into the brain and make it alive. Make it alive, full of blood flow, going to the depth of the brain. This is the real aim of meditation, is to stop the thinking, or to bring the blood flow to deeper areas of the brain, by which the thinking subdues. There's no thinking so much anymore because the blood flow, it is not fueled. Then feelings, emotions, space, unconditional love, confidence, beautiful feelings then arise. They simply arise without the need of external drugs. And because that is quite difficult to go past the grip of our mind, which is creating illusions, and illusions are psychically strong. We have to learn to have some techniques that are able to go past that hold, that grip of that illusory grip, and to go deeper. So that's what the cold does. The cold and the breathing, both. They are both able to tackle that problem of the psychic grip of the illusion of our thinking, created through external consciousness, perceived consciousness, through our eyes, ears, feeling, nose, taste, and those are external senses. You have also internal senses, but we don't listen to them anymore. And because the external perception and following therein the consciousness has become very dominant, and it takes the blood flow, and it's always there. While you have internal senses like the sixth sense, seventh sense, and the eighth sense. And this is what I'm proving in science and neuroscience, that I have absolute control over the inner senses. And I showed that. I showed that just by using thought, I could make cold water poured upon my skin temperature not going down, just using my thought. And anybody has that. Or to tackle bacteria, just by using breath and thought. Thought will become, once you develop the inner senses, will become within your control, and you are able to command those inner senses to work to neutralize impact from the outside. Could be bacterial, could be stress, a virus, could be physical stress, emotional stress, whatever stress, it all is stress on the body. Are you able to counteract, to make your body strong at the moment when there is an impact? That's what you learn in the cold. The cold is really cold. It's aggressive. It really attacks you on your skin and everything, but you learn to remain calm. And very soon, the inner senses become alive. You let go, and the inner senses let the body do what the body is capable of, is able to make the aggressive cold not being felt negatively anymore. It's like you make your body from the inside strong. And that is where you start to awaken those inner senses at your willpower. It's very, keep it simple. It is a difficult question because it's a philosophical question of thousands of years and all yoga and all those scriptures. And now we found the simple answer. The simple answer is no answer. It's being as strong as you feel when you are in love. You don't need to know when you are in love what is love, what is this. No, you're just there. So be there as love for life. And if you're not, go internally. And still, the experience of life will come to you, but remain in your discipline. Your discipline will guide you through all your purposeful lessons of life. And you will feel strong, very confident. You will be able to help. I'm helping millions of people now. Millions. And I want to go to billions. So I keep steady. I keep steady being humble, being myself. I'm a simple soul, but the soul is not simple. Soul is strong. So if you go to the soul becomes, and it has no limit. It's like the unlimited power of the mind. So learn to own your mind. It's all there. The breathing, the believing, and going into the cold will make you very effectively and very fast owner of your own mind and body the way nature meant it to be. Don't think it is difficult. You don't have to understand my words. Is understand that you got it, that you are it, and that you have to exercise it. And every day, happy, strong, healthy. Rest is bullshit. So don't take up the bullshit. Just be happy, strong, and healthy. And your work, as you are doing right now, that's great work, what you do. I love it. We meet
Thank you.
because of your work. And thank you for your work. That is amazing. Keep on going. Be strong therein. And flow. And make it light every day.
Yeah. And I do agree with you, because I think also that it's when you were talking about a knowing, it's and I was saying this the other day, that I knew that I've always wanted to help people, but just didn't know how. And I was that little girl at school that used to share my lunch. If somebody had a knot in their hair, I'd be the one brushing the knot out of their hair. If somebody hurt themselves, I would find a Band-Aid. So I just listened to allowed myself, or my soul, to guide me to where I am today. And you've done this. The what you do is phenomenal.
I recognize all. I recognize you. I was little like you. We were both kids. Come on, that's it. The same root. Yeah. And the root was, I was helping always when there was a sick animal or something, they brought it to me and to my twin brother. We always took care. We loved nature. And we were very friendly to older people and always, no, good guys, conscious, but good guys. Nice, soft, but also strong. I remember from 12 years on, I did the newspapers. I distributed newspapers. And so from 12 years, I was rising at 5:30, doing the newspapers. And when I became 14, at 4 o'clock, all before school. And I became so strong, I won a contest of cycling, and I won of professional cyclists. You know, those real cyclists. I won. In 1 minute, we had to go as fast as possible. You know, all stand still on a station. It was an event and all. And I was the fastest. Within a minute, I did 60 kilometers an hour with the heaviness of the bike. And they had the best second at 1 second more, and then 3 seconds more, and then 5 seconds more. Hey man, it made me strong, disciplined since ever. And when here in the Netherlands, when it is winter, it's nasty cold. It's like wet and moist, and then cold is being transmitted very fast. And 4 o'clock outside in the with your bike and slippery, and you have to go the same route everywhere on the hills and up and down, and yeah, that makes you strong. You don't think anymore. You learn to just you know. And so that was a good start. I did that 5 years long. And when I was 17, I found the cold directly into the water, as we talked in the beginning of this conversation. And I went in and I found out this is it. The cold. The way it brings me into the depths. That is where my consciousness met the cold as a power, and I could go with my consciousness, with my brain activity, with that power, connect with that power of the cold upon my body, and then learn to regulate that power within my body. And then years later, apparently, I'm able to do what professors and doctors thought of impossible for humans to do. So there we are. And right now, I'm working with the best of them, because we got a whole pharmaceutical world making money on us because we don't know how to control us. I bring back the control. That's what I do. And until that is not done, we just keep on going. We have nice conversations, but it makes sense to have 100% control over your own brain and body. And as it then serves, you naturally flow towards your purpose. And from the purpose comes the life's lessons and the soul being manifested completely. And when that is done, I'm done. And I go on. I don't stop. I just go on.
I think you'll be still around for a very, very long time somehow. And, you know, as you were speaking, I remember you put a post where you said, once you see it, it'll be hard to unsee it. And it was your face. That was, to me, like, I was blown away. It was, to me, that was the integration of Mama Guy and Wim Hof together. It was like Mama Guy was speaking with you and working with you or through you. So I loved seeing that. I do have a question, because I also, I live near the beach. So I go into the water, and it's a mind over matter thing. So I know for me, I go in, but I can't be in my mind, because my mind goes, oh, it's too cold, and it's going to talk me out of coming out of the water. So what I do is I drop into my heart, knowing that this feeling will only be 1 minute, and then there's heat that goes through my body. How do you do it? Because I know breath work is a big part of it. And I'd love to really, for those that don't know what the Wim Hof Method is, I'd like to unpack what that is and what people should expect from it. But how do you do it? Like, how do you, because you go from extreme. I'm just talking about beach water. You're talking, you're very extreme in how you have cold bath, very different. So what's your trick?
That is motivation. I get these retreats, and I do retreats, and then I get like 100 people or 400 people at the same time. And within 4 days, people who have never done anything with the cold, just being attracted by the story and all, and then suddenly they are able to go for 4 or 5 hours in freezing temperatures in their bikinis. What is that? That is the decision to let go. Let it go, and it is able to come. But if you still resist, you are actually blocking this the depth of your own currents to come to your brain and to be in control of you. So The summer is coming over there now, but I tell you, or you have an ice bath in an ice bath, a freezer. I got a freezer here, so even in the summer, I'm into cold temperatures, and I love it. There is no limit almost of how much you can stay in cold water. And the thing is, the cold water is able to make you learn to shut up. To shut up the ruminating and just be powerful. So until that is not happening, keep on going. Because you are built to learn to control your ruminating mind, to come to stillness, to come to power. That is control of the mind, where you come to stillness through the cold. And you can do this, Catherine. Come on.
Yeah, no, I know. And
I've seen people. Yes, I've seen my oldest participant is 101 years old.
Oh,
so there is no age with this. There is no reason for or personal inclination or character or genetical formation that makes a person unable to adapt to the cold. It's just not there. We are being of nature, and cold is part of that. So
we get in our way. That's what you're saying, isn't it? We get in our own way.
Yes. Yes. Learn to target for more. Learn to target. Don't be afraid to be in control of 100% of your brain.
Yeah.
It's there. Change the concept. Change the paradigm with it. Be happy, strong, healthy. If that is not there for real, really strong, like love can be really strong, when you want it, it's there. That is control of the mind. And the rest is bullshit. So learn to cut the bullshit out of it. So the power which the bullshit is consuming is being transplanted to the happiness, strength, and health. Fully. And then it becomes lovable. Because when you feel really healthy, really strong, and really happy, man, that gives you deep confidence. And that with that confidence, there is nothing that can stop you no more. That is an innate capacity of our mind. That is the way we should feel ourselves. That is the spirit without any fear, uninhibited, there to live life.
Oh, I love your passion. I think we're going to have to get you back on the show because I'm conscious of your time, your precious time. And I do really appreciate this conversation. I know I've got so many questions because there's also so many health benefits. So we'll have everything in the show notes. But the way that we love to wrap up the show, Wim, is we always love to ask our guests to leave 3 shiny golden nuggets, or they could be 3 practical exercises. What would that be for you?
First of all, if you don't go to the cold, then the cold will come to you. You could use that philosophical phrase, which is also a physical reality. If you don't go to the stress, then the stress will come to you. If you don't go to the inconvenience of your life's lessons, then the inconvenience of the life's lessons will come to you. You better go toward it. That's what I say. If you don't go to the cold will come to you. And you are fully capacitated to go to the cold and to overcome it and to use it to bring down stress in any way. So that's nugget number 1. If you don't go to the cold will come to you. And I did the studies on that. Now, a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away, is what I say, or an ice bath. That means cardiovascular related diseases is killer number 1 in our modern society. You will tackle it with a cold shower a day. Keeps the doctor away. Even the doctor is doing it now, because now finally hundreds of millions of people are getting it. It's getting there. It took some time, but hey, a simple person, one person is able to make that happen. Yes, that is the unlimited power of the mind. Remember? And you got that too. Anybody has got that. Anybody who's listening to this golden nugget, you are in possession of not being possessed, but in possession of the unlimited power of the mind. And if you don't experience it because of all the confusion, then think of the greatest mantra ever. Just be happy, strong, and healthy. The rest is bullshit. You got that? That is there. Own your own mind is another one. You are here with a full natural right to own your own mind and body. Isn't that? That is logical. So you will learn to have possession or control. As a servant, it will be your brain activity, which is the seat of the mind, which then enables you to connect and make use of the servant, to use any part of the brain for any purpose you have, by which you learn to feel confidence, deep confidence. You will become fearless, because a person who is fully in control over his brain, unlimited power of the mind, that is, he has no fear. He has nothing to fear with the unlimited power of the mind within its control. So there you become fearless. You become very confident. You go straight. You learn to naturally become very focused and concentrated and powerful, full of love. You will love that, and you will emanate that. And with that, you will heal the world. Heal yourself, you heal the world. That's the way it goes. So those are my 3 nuggets. But there are many more.
I'm sure there are.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple every day. You give the best will come about. And even in dark times, shine the light through discipline. You will harvest what you are sowing every day. And even if you don't see it sometimes, just keep on going. That is faith. And faith is indestructible and connected to the soul. Soul is powerful. It has its purpose, and it will manifest. And that is the greatest accomplishment you can ever imagine in a lifetime. It's magic. And for everybody, it's different. It's unique. So go for it. It's there.
Yeah. You're such a poet. I love it. And I feel like when you were talking about go to the cold, otherwise the cold will come to you. I've even in my own time, I've experienced breakthroughs. I've thought about different things. So going in the cold, and it's almost like going into the shadow, dealing with the dark aspects of your psyche and working with that. And that's what I found, that doing that, it's like, that's that whole mind. It's a mind game, really. It's about ignoring what the mind is telling you, but allowing yourself to proceed regardless. Because that's what you were saying. That's that whole discipline piece, right? Just keep doing it. Push yourself.
Yes. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. That if you go to the shadow, then you will bring light.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's
One last question. When's your book coming out? The new book coming out, Wim?
There are several books. One is a photo book. It's a sort of a biography, a biographic piece. And nice, because I found my photographer back. And we have 45 years relationship, and he always followed me, but I lost him, and then I found him again, and now he's got all these photos. So we decided to make a book. My wife is helping me, and I do poetry therein. I tell stories, journalistic style, reporting style, and all. And so that is one book, and the other book is about the Into the Depth, and it shows more proof, and more scientific proof is showing that we absolutely are capable of, to learn to own our own mind, and with that become really heartfelt or in love with life and everybody.
Love makes the world go round. I love the fact that you
Yes.
brought that up. Wim, I can't thank you enough for your time, your energy, your wealth of wisdom. I feel wide awake. I was thinking to myself, I might go back to bed after this interview, but I don't think I can. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We'll have everything in the show notes, and enjoy the rest of your evening for you. Thank you so very much. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, Catherine. Very nice of you to be there and to put in this effort of you at 2 o'clock in the morning. Great work from the heart. Souls have met. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.